Om Vakradanda Mahakaya Surya Samapprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karashyami Siddhir Me Sada Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Deva Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Apar Karuna Sindhum Jnanadam Shantarupinam Sri Chandrasekhara Gurum Pranamami Mudanvakam Yatkripaleshamatreణ Puman Purnah Prajayate Tam Bande Brahma Vidhuryam Sadgurum Chandrasekharam Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunakto Saviryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahe Om Shanti 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 Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha
Shri Paramatmane Namaha.
Atha Shashtodhyayah
Atha Shashtodhyayah.
Shri Bhagavanuvacha
Shri Bhagavanuvacha.
Asamshayam Mahabhato Manodurnigraham Chalam
Asamshayam Mahabaho Manodurunigraham Chalam.
Abhyasena tu Kaunteya Vairagyena cha Gryhyate
Abhyasena tu Kaunteya Vairagena cha Gryhyate.
Manaha Durnigraham Chanchalat Katvat. Therefore, by Vairagya and Abhyasa. By Vairagya and Abhyasa, Gryhyate, mind can be controlled. This, yes, reading the shloka. Now, Abhyasa, practice. Vairagya, we are discussing. Vairagya is being objective with regard to the Vishayas, sense objects. Not superimposing any desired attributes on the Vishaya and desiring it. Superimposing the desired attributes, it's called Shobhana Dhyasa. So, the last line which I read is very beautiful line. Vairagya means to be free of the longing. That implies Shobhana Dhyasa. And this is accomplished by neutralizing Shobhana Dhyasa, thereby judging situations properly. So Shobhana Dhyasa is not there, then you look at the things as it is. There is no Dhyasa, there is no superimposition. Therefore, the object is seen as it is. Naturally, you will see the absence of the desired thing. Therefore, you will be detached. That is what dispassion, disinterest. So objects will be of no more interest, disinterest. Now, how to neutralize this superimposition, Shobhana Dhyasa, that is the topic. Any object of liking, Raga Vishayas, can be an object of possession sooner or later. Jayato Vishayan Pumsaha, we saw that Kamat Krodho Vijayate, when the desired object is not gained, it will become Kama, then it will become Krodha. The desired object is not gained, that Kama will become Krodha, then Krodha leads to destruction. Krodha Bhavati Sammoha, Sammoha Smriti Brahma, Smriti Bhavishat Buddhi Nashaha. Buddhi nashat pranashyati. So therefore, it's a problem. Any object of liking can become an object of obsession sooner or later. And there are books being written today about people who love too much, meaning that they cannot love at all. Because they cannot keep an object of love in its proper perspective, therefore it becomes a problem for them. The object of love can consume a person so completely that becomes an obsession. That becomes an obsession, therefore leading to attempts to control, vying for positions, etc. So not looking at things as it is, and therefore having obsessive love. That is not having proper perspective. So therefore, it becomes an obsession. To neutralize Shobhana Adhyasa, so one has to understand the difference, differentiate the objective value as the object, whatever the values, looking at the object as it is, not superimposing your values, subjective values. Subjective superimposition of values upon the object. So objective value and subjective superimposition of values upon the object. Subjective imposition due to raga, due to obsession, due to the liking, the desire. When that is not there, when you have objective look, then you will see whether you really like it or not. Because you see the things which are not there and therefore you like it. An objective superimposition seen clearly as different from objective, then naturally you will have developed disinterest for the object. That gives relaxation. You are now free from obsession. The mind is free. The whole mind is available for meditation. That's why vairagya. And the meditation, the mind has to be brought to the object of meditation repeatedly. That is abhyasa. Therefore, abhyasena to kaunteya vairagyena cha krigyate. Now, how is it possible to see this difference? Shankara Bhagavad defines vairagya here as the capacity to repeatedly, I think repeatedly is very important, repeatedly see the limitations, doshas, in both the seen and unseen objects of enjoyment. Drishta, adrishta, bhoga vishayeshu, meaning year and year after. Year after is Sarga Loka, which is considered to be the place of enjoyment. No dukkha, only pleasure. Vairagyam nama, vairagya is drishta adrishta bhogeshu dosha darshana abhyasa. Vaitrishniyam. Drishta, seen, adrishta, not seen, invisible. Bhoga vishayeshu, vishaya, objects of enjoyment, the regard of both drishta and drishta. Dosha darshanam, seeing the defects. It means seeing the limitations. When the object is desired, you don't see the limitations, you don't see the doshas. The doshas are overlooked because of your raga for it. Therefore, vairagya is seeing the defects, seeing the limitations. Seeing the limitations, every object has its limitation. Threefold, in fact, defects, doshas. They cannot satisfy you forever, and it is mixed with the dukkham, and it binds you, without which you cannot live. So these are the defects. So therefore, it makes you bound. So limitations here refer to, here what it refers to is what an object can give. Given object can give and what it cannot give. What it can give should be clear, what cannot give should be clear. But because of Shobhana Adhyasa, what it cannot give, you think that it gives. That is Adhyasa. And what it gives really, that you don't see. So therefore, both what it cannot give, you see. You see it as though it is giving. You see that it gives. What it gives that you don't see. So therefore, any object has these virtues, gunas, and defects, doshas. Therefore, one must see these limitations clearly. That is why vairagya is translated as objectivity. Clear knowledge, clear understanding of what the object or person or thing is. The desired object is. For example, money can buy, but it cannot make you enjoy. Seeing money as a source of enjoyment is, that is wrong That is Shobhanadhyasa, wrong vision, wrong perception. Seeing this is what makes you dispassionate. Money cannot make you enjoy, but money gives the buying power. Money, as the buying, gives you the buying power, that is a fact. But money makes you enjoy. That is not correct. Because there are many people who have money, but they are not happy in spite of having money. Money makes a person happy. Then all the rich men should be happy. It is not. Therefore, money cannot give enjoyment. So seeing what money can give and what it cannot give. Money gives buying power, it cannot give happiness. Happiness is in spite of money, in fact. In spite of having money or not having money. So this is what makes you dispassionate. And once you are dispassionate, then your objective outlook, therefore your relationship with money is proper. You can really have a proper transaction with money. So it is an objective relationship, which is what here we are talking about. So when you have this objective outlook, then it will not be a source of attraction anymore. So there will not be any obsessive attraction. When there is no obsessive attraction, the mind is available for meditation. Therefore, seeing things as they are, that is what Vairagya and Abhyasa practice. Seeing things as they are, the capacity to look at things as they are is what is called objectivity. A beautiful translation, Vairagya. There is no judgment involved here. No Shobhanadhyasa, no judgment. You don't judge. Just see things as they are. Just an understanding of things as they are. A bitter God is bitter God, bitter only. So seeing it as it is, you don't judge based on it, you understand as it is. This objectivity is especially important in terms of our subjective values because we don't know the objects of these values as they really are. We are not concerned here with the physical structure of objects, only with the value is superimposed upon them. So, therefore, we are concerned with the value which we superimpose on them, Shobhanadhyas. Therefore, neutralizing the Shobhanadhyas, that is by looking at things as they are. When you look at a given object, I see there are a lot of projections involved. Projections, visualizations, wishes. I wish. There's so many projections involved. I project. Atasmin tad buddhi, project which are not there, the object. Therefore, I see these projections for what they are, that is subjective, and I deal with them. So you deal with your own projections, subjective values. And by separating them in this way, I can look more objectively at how the object is going to make my life any better than it is now, any better or worse. Doing this and again it's what is called abhyasa, and seeing the limitations of the objects is vairagya. So vairagya developed by looking at the doshas of the vishayas repeatedly, that is abhyasa. So by vairagya, which is gained by doing this again and again, the practice, that is abhyasa. And abhyasa of meditation, that abhyasa is different. Mastery of the mind is by repeatedly bringing the object of mind to the object of meditation, that is abhyasa. And vairagya is gained by looking at things objectively as they are. That is also by abhyasa practice. So this repetition is essential because the subjective values doesn't go away like that, just like that. It is so strongly entrenched, therefore it doesn't go away. Therefore, it requires constant, repeated practice. That is why they say sannyasa is everyday sannyasa. Every day they have to discard the objects of enjoyment. It is not that one time sannyasa taken, it's over. Every day, because the values, subjective values will repeat, and one has to have a clear understanding of what it is and then dismiss it. Because the value is something that is not deliberately superimposed upon the object by you. It is done because of the past orientation. So therefore, it is required. A practice is required. Objectivity and subjectivity. Suppose you buy a piece of bronze, thinking that it is antique. It is an antique piece. In fact, it has been oxidized to make it look very old. And here has been cut, the nose poked, and some scratches put on it to make it look as though it has fallen down a few times. All of this has been deliberately. So it's a bronze statue. It's a bronze statue whose ear is cut, nose poked, and scratches to make it see that it has fallen down a few times. All of this has been deliberately done to make you think that it is antique, so that the value is more, to increase its value. And you buy it thinking it is an ancient piece, antique piece. And when you realize that it is not an antique, then you are disappointed and experience a sense of loss. Loss of money as well as you feel cheated. Both. What did you lose here? Only the subjective value that you are superimposed on it. The bronze does have a certain objective value. Thinking it is an antique, the value what you superimposed. You had placed a subjective value on it. The subjective value has little or nothing to do with the objective value of the object. To think of a simple piece of bronze as something great is purely subjective, nothing more. It's the same thing people do with regard to other things also. People do the same thing with the blue jeans, buying a new jeans that have been made to look old. And these may come with some patches. Why? To make it look as though they have been around and you're prepared to pay a higher price. And again, this is purely a subjective value. From this, we can understand the difference between the objective and subjective value of an object. Previously, you looked at the piece of bronze as an antique, and now, knowing it is not an antique, you look at it as bronze, objective. The object itself is the same as when you bought. When you thought it was an antique piece, the object is same. And now when you know that, then also it is same. It had no ear then, now it has no ear now. Only in your outlook there is a change. For all you know, it may be an antique. Perhaps the person who told you that it is not. Now, once you take it off your hands and sell it for a fortune, if this were to happen, you would feel like a fool. If you find out, of course. So in the realm of subjective value, anything is possible. Therefore, the point I'm making here is that the vision of an object as an antique goes away, and the attitude of you will have its dispassion towards the object. You will have disinterest. Naturally, you will have dispassion towards the object. If the wrong vision of the object goes away, the wrong perception, the wrong vision of the object is there. Once it goes away, naturally, when you see the object as it is, there arises dispassion, disinterest. You are no more interested in it. If it is an antique, it is an antique. There's no problem. We simply look at it as an antique. That is again objective value. That society has jacked up the price because of the subjective value placed upon it. Need not concern you at all. Whereas if you are an antique collector, everything about you becomes antique. There are people who want to collect and own certain objects to the point that it becomes an obsession. They call it an investment, and they will not part. But they will not part with it. For something to be an investment, you have to be able to sell it, and they will not sell because they have developed such an attachment for the object. Even the old piece in the house sitting in a corner, that also they will not discard it because they have obsession for that small piece of thing. There is no investment here. There is only a problem that has been created. Only when the antique buddhi goes away, when the person can look at the object objectively, then there will be vairagya. The buddhi, the understanding has to go away. Wrong understanding has to go away. Then only there can be vairagya. That is why we say vairagya is always backed by viveka. Nitya vastu viveka. The vastu is nityam or anityam. If it is anitya, then seeing it as anitya, that creates disinterest for them. That's why vairagya backed up by viveka. So vairagya is knowing that an object is just an object. When a subjective value superimposed upon an object is gone, then the object is just the object. You see object as an object. Object doesn't become object. It is all the way it is object only. Now perception is clear. You see it as it is. You see the object as it is. This holds for all objects. That there is Shobhana Dhyasa, a superimposition which has taken place naturally, not deliberately on your part. That extra attribute, now that doesn't really exist in the object. That has to be recognized. Therefore, again and again, repeatedly, I see the object as it is. This is how the Shobhana Dhyasa is neutralized. And in the wake of this knowledge, the Dhyasa goes away. Superimposition goes away. This doesn't mean you need to continue to remind yourself. This is not an antique, this is not an antique. It's not a japa. Such a japa, you need not do it. But with reference to money, power, and acceptance of others, abhyasa and vairagya, both are necessary. Seeing the limitations of objects and situations over again and again, dosha darshanam, is very important to make the mind detached from the obsessions for the objects and situations. And this has to be done repeatedly. Therefore, repetition is necessary because the superimposition is not a deliberate thing. You did not do deliberately, did not superimpose deliberately. It's not a mistake that you have made by taking something to be more than valuable than it is. If it were a mistake, one-time correction is adequate. Yes. See, if this is a mistake, like mistaking a rope for a snake, once you know the rope as a rope, then it will not repeat. One-time correction is enough. If it were a mistake, one-time correction is enough. The error is corrected. After that, you will see, once you know rope as a rope, not as a snake, then you will not see the rope again, the same rope as a snake. Maybe some other rope you may see as a snake that is different, but same rope you will not look at it as a snake. So one-time correction is adequate. Then there is objective. But here, it is not a one-time mistake that there is a position. It is by your being what you are, a psychological being, very firmly rooted in your terms of your concept of success. It is firmly rooted because of the orientation of the previous orientation, conditionings of the society. Therefore, one-time correction will not help. Therefore, only repeated. It is strongly entrenched in your mind, either because of surroundings or because of the values, whatever the values you superimposed on it, not deliberately because of the conditionings of the society, compulsions of the society. Therefore, every time correction, every time until it is very clear. This has to be done repeatedly. That is why abhyasa. All concepts of success and vairagya, dispassion, are within the range of the psychology alone. Vairagya is nothing. Swamiji says with regard to success, what is success? There's nothing called success. Again, success is an adhyasa. When you get what you want in an attempt, in the given task, then it's called success. And when you don't get it, it's a failure. But success and failure are just words. Really, what you have is an experience. An experience alone is termed as success and failure. Experience being experience, it's neither failure nor success. Because of our concept of success rooted in our mind, therefore we label an experience as success or failure. So therefore, this vairagya, all concepts of success and vairagya dispassion are within the range of psychology alone. Vairagya is nothing but the emotional growth of the person. It's a growth. Growth is strictly in terms of understanding the limitations, the defects of an object or situation or person again and again, repeatedly bring into conscious mind, understanding the limitations until the superimposition, that Shavana Adhyasa, falls apart, goes away. Then the world doesn't have a hold over you. You are free. There is no obsession. Otherwise, the mind runs towards certain objects naturally because we have been given such importance by the society and therefore by you. So therefore, Vairagya, that's why Vairagya is important. And Vairagya is a meditation, and by practice, mind can be meditation, a person can take charge over the mind. There is certain pain involved with reference to certain old objects, what you could not get before, and what you have lost in the past, which can cause problems in the mind. Whereas if Vairagya is the old failures, those things that were sources of pain for you fall apart. And new objects also cannot have any hold over you. Therefore, the past also dismissed, the past failures, and new one cannot have any hold. This is what is meant by seeing the limitations. Dosha darshanam, dushta drishta bhoga vishayeshu, Dosha darshanam abhyasaha vaitrishnamiti. Again and again, thereby creating a cognitive change and understanding which frees the mind to a greater extent. That mind alone is required for seeing for for seeing Atma, for understanding Atma as it is, the seat of meditation, for owning up the knowledge, then for getting Nishta, the knowledge, the seat of meditation. So that mind is required, the mind which is free. Therefore, the Nishta is gained by the mind which is free. Therefore, only it is required Vairagya and Vairagya and Abhyasa. Vairagya and Abhyasa, Vairagya should be practiced constantly, practice Abhyasa. And Vairagya and Abhyasa, practice of meditation, that is Abhyasa, by which the Nishta is gained. The Vastu, which is Atma, Atmanishta. Therefore, by Abhyasa and Vairagya, the mind can be mastered. Manaha Grigyate, mind is mastered. Sometimes the mind is available for Vidyasanam, Nishta can be gained. Shravanam and Mananam being done, therefore Nidhyasanam becomes easy. Meditation, Dhyanam becomes easy for the meditator, seat of meditation. The mind that is always chattering, always preaching, that the mind is a form of vegetation because it is away from Dhyayavastu, the object of meditation. That is why all the time it is agitated. From the Dhyayavastu, that is Atma. Now this mind is agitation, so difficult to master. Now it can be mastered. Once it is mastered, then it can be away from the object of meditation. Therefore, but you cannot simply sit there and expect the mind to take care of itself. That also, you have to pay some attention to it. As Bhagavan says next sloka, that we'll see. Next class. And after that, again, Arjuna asked question, and Bhagavan repeats. So we'll see this sloka tomorrow. Stop here. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Dhanyavadaha.
Dhanyavadaha.
See you, Mataji. Enjoy your day. Happy